Hello and welcome to the Sunday Shale Show. My name is Mike Chadsey and today I'm joined by Mike Battles from Woolpert. Mike, how are you doing today?
Doing very well.
Good. Well, thanks for joining us. Give me a quick 30-second commercial on your background.
Absolutely. From Worcester, Ohio, and started at the Dayton Woolpert office back in 1999. Moved to Cincinnati and was there for the last 10 years now, opening up an office here in Dover for the oil and gas and downstream business.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about Woolpert and a little bit about their business background and maybe where you see this business going here.
Absolutely, yeah. We've been hired by a couple of the government agencies here in town to help them with some of their improvements as they've seen more money and more sales tax come to the region. So we've been working with Muskegon Watershed Conservancy District with their Parks and Recreation Master Plan, working with ODOT District 11, doing some surveying for their roadways. Beyond there, then we're talking with a lot of the upstream and midstream companies about our civil engineering and surveying and mapping services.
Okay, good. How long's Woolpert been around?
Since 1911. So,
1911.
Yeah.
Where did they get their start?
So we started in Dayton, Ohio, actually.
Started in Dayton, okay.
And the Rural Electrification Act is really what sprung us into the future. So we mapped over 20,000 miles of electrical lines throughout the Midwest, and so we've been in the energy and utility business for quite some time.
How many offices?
4 in Ohio.
Okay.
We have 23 throughout the country in 15 states.
Oh wow. Okay. How many employees overall?
Overall, a little over 600,
Okay.
of which about 250 of them are here in Ohio.
And working here in Ohio for Woolpert? Okay.
That's right.
Good. Good. Now take me from sort of some of that work that you have been doing, like you mentioned a little bit for the local government, state government, to maybe the next 5 or 10 years and getting engaged in Ohio's oil and gas industry. Do you have a role to play there, and if so, what role is that?
Yeah, traditionally where Woolpert's been for the last 102 years has been doing a lot of what in the industry is considered downstream or community development work. So as there's this influx of money and the economy is recharged here with the Ohio stimulus package, you know, putting in housing developments, hotels, retail, commercial development, industrial parks, business parks, planning and design, those type of facilities, as well as working for Parks and Recreation. We've worked with the conservation and preservation of land for a long time, so there's a lot of opportunities there. So working with the Muskegon Watershed down there, Parks and Rec improvements, to help them make the right decisions on how they prioritize their capital improvements. Moving forward with the upstream business, roadways and water are obviously big components of civil engineers and surveyors. And then the midstream, as you can see, we do a lot of aerial mapping, and so being able to help identify wetlands and pipeline corridors from the air, and then getting down on the ground and surveying them as they get put in the ground.
So some of the technology that you use, like you said, in the air or other pieces that you have, not only would help us avoid those wetland issues, but it actually allows us to protect the environment because we can avoid those types of things. Is there a role there as well too?
Absolutely. You know, Woolpert, one of our strengths is the diversity of our professionals. So we have folks that can collect data, but then we have environmental engineers, environmental scientists, civil engineers, architects, landscape architects, right? And so we put those heads together, working with our clients to figure out what is the best solution.
Moving forward, that's good. Well, in working with all your clients, and some of you said are in the oil and gas industry, we often hear that safety is the most important thing. Is there a role for Woolpert in that as well too, to make sure that we protect human health and safety in this process?
Absolutely. I mean, safety is obviously huge. Being a surveying company, we obviously are very interested in surveying too. You've got folks out on ATVs and sometimes in thick woods with machetes. So safety is a very big concern of Woolpert's, and I'm proud to say we have a very good safety rating score.
That's good. That's good.
With that also, we do a lot of water quality and water quantity monitoring, so that's another part of what we do that I think is very good as far as measuring levels of water and recharge and sustainability, but also what's the quality of that water, and how do we get that information out to those that need it as quickly as possible.
Oh, good, good. Well, just as we wrap up here, is there any other final comments, and maybe talk a little bit about how some folks are maybe unsure of this industry as it really ramps up here in Ohio, and obviously you've had a chance to experience in that your personal and professional career. How would you talk to somebody about this and say, you know, this is a good thing, and how would you go about explaining it to somebody?
Yeah, you know, I studied environmental biology. My family's from the oil and gas business. You know, one of the things that I say to a lot of people is the folks that are out here working in this industry, they're outdoorsmen, they're hunters, they're very good stewards of the land. Anybody that knows a hunter knows that those folks are very concerned about the environment and what they leave behind. So I think that just from a personal level, you see that the safety, it's probably one of the safest industries I've ever been exposed to in my 14-year career. Safety is a huge concern, and there's no room for error. And if you make an error, you know, fortunately you have to move on. So I think it's a very safe, very environmentally friendly. You know, the fact that we can do this horizontal drilling now instead of doing vertical drilling rigs every acre, the footprint, the impact that we have on the Earth's surface is much better.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Mike, thank you for what you do, and thank you for Woolpert. We're so excited to hear that you have so many employees here in Ohio working in part to the oil and gas industry. So thank you for sharing your story, and thanks for joining us here today.
Thank you.
You got it. And for more information, visit us at eidohio.org. Thank you.